Good morning and welcome to Zen Fits. Let's see what kind of a fit we're going to have this morning. I've been working with Catch-22 these last talks because I just saw the original movie, and it's just been a time release wisdom capsule. It just keeps going off and going off, and I keep finding Catch-22 everywhere. And so this morning I was on Facebook, where I usually start my day and get all I know is what's on Facebook. And this was a quote from Eckhart Tolle that, again, Catch-22. So let's see what the Catch-22 is in Eckhart Tolle. Let me read this. What does a relationship look like between two awakened persons? That's the question. Tolle says, there is a lack of expectation that the other person... My phone just rang. There is a lack of expectation that the other person should fulfill you or make you happy. Without that demand, there is an openness where you can simply enjoy the other and accept the limitations. Every human being in the human form has limitations. You can marry the Buddha, and after a few months you will find on the human form that the Buddha too has limitations. There may be things that the mind reacts to and irritates you about the Buddha. Why is he sitting over there in meditation? Once you accept the limitations of the other, it's a dance between two forms and a realization that the essence of relationship is the space in the relationship. So the question that needs to be asked always is there space in this relationship? Space really means the level of awareness or presence, not thinking. So can you look at your partner and not think? Two conscious beings realize that the essence of the relationship is the space in it. Even when there is an egoic overlay, it is not too dense or heavy for you to sense the essence underneath it. If you don't need to react to the egoic overlay, you don't need to react to the egoic overlay. When you don't react to it, you don't strengthen it. And so on. So anyway, I hope you get the sense of this, that he's talking about the one that is two. No, so you're in a relationship. And everything is relationship, by the way. Nothing stands alone. We're not like Andy Warhol's soup can in space. Everything is relationship. Everything is relationship. There is no one standing in the void of space by itself. Even that would be a relationship to the void. You see? So you can't avoid relationship. So everything is two. In other words, we're all living on Noah's Ark, where everything comes in pairs of opposites. And yet, there is the one that holds the two. So this one that holds the two is space and Tolle points and Zen. So this space is awareness, knowing, pure awareness before it knows something. So that space, let's go to our grammar. That space is the first person. That space is the subjective me at the center, I, you, that knows me. You're seeing me. Okay, well, I'm an it to you. But who are you? Are you an it too? You see, if you got two its, you don't have relationship. You got like two marbles. There's no one. But there has to be a one that holds the two, because Nothing exists by itself. So this one that holds the two is always missing from our perception of reality, of you and me. We're really getting very esoteric here. So let's talk about this catch-22 for a minute. I forgot to put my clock here, so I don't know how much time I've got. So this catch-22 movie basically is a metaphor for reality, for living inside Noah's Ark. If you live inside Noah's Ark, metaphorically speaking now, don't say, oh, you can't live in that, That's catch-22. But anyway, imagine that Noah's Ark is the perceived world. We're in it. It's like a fishbowl. The fish can't see the fishbowl. You can swim around in it. And if the fishbowl is square or triangular, whatever the shape the fishbowl is, the fish are shaped by that. The mind is shaped by the bowl, but the mind can't see the bowl. So the fishbowl is the one that holds the two, the I and the it inside the bowl. So we never can perceive the one. Because if you perceive the one, then it's an it. Now there's two again. So the one that holds the two is space. It cannot be an it. It transcends all the its, you see. And yet it's there. And you are that. It's not out there, it's an it, you see. You are the space that holds all the its. So if you look at relationship of two, like you and me, you and the cat, all the twos in Noah's Ark, you see, function as a catch-22 unless you discover or awaken the one that holds the two. So I just wrote this morning too, kind of like connecting dots in a poetic way, of this elusive one that holds the two. Remembering that catch-22, two twos, catch the two twos, catch the 22. Is it one two or two twos? Catch-22 is the illogical dance of the two twos, the I and the it, trying to discover the one that holds the two, but they can't. So they go in a circle, like two tomcats in a backyard. Who's the one? Who's the one tom? They go wow, 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 wow. The snake eating its tail, the Ouroboros, is a feedback loop. So catch-22 is a feedback loop that's like a microphone stuck in an amplifier. Wow, 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 wow. It keeps accelerating. It keeps magnifying. It keeps expanding as it tries to get out of the catch-22. As you struggle to get out of the catch-22, it explodes into a panic attack, into a gunfight. It explodes into violence because it can't get out. So the terror, the pain of the catch-22 drives us mad, you see. So we're always trying to find some way to check it. Like right now, there is a catch-22 going on between Trump, and I'll say Trump, and Saudi Arabia and Iran. In other words, it's like two tomcats. Who's going to be the one tom? And they're getting ready to go wow, 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 you see. And once that wow, wow, wow starts, you can't stop it. That's why wars are easy to get into, but very difficult to stop. We're still fighting one in Iraq and Afghanistan. The wow, wow, wow is still going on. But I digress. So let me just read this little poetic rendition. Schrodinger's cat, I realized this morning, is a metaphor for catch-22. Schrodinger's cat was the thought puzzle metaphor created by Heidegger about quantum physics. There is a cat in a box with a atomic capsule. At some point, that thing will open and the cat will die. But until you open the box, the cat is both alive and dead. It's ambiguous. Catch-22. Schrodinger's catch. Catch-22. Cat-22. Schrodinger's cat. Catch the cat. Cat-22. Cat/2. Alive or dead. The cat is both alive and dead until you open the box. So until you open the catch-22 of reality, of form, everything is its own opposite. Everything is its own opposite until you open the box and release the one and see the one. The cat is both alive and dead. The old woman, I didn't have it, but you know my Gestalt picture of the old and young woman. Situation is ambiguous. The Heart Sutra, which I chant every morning. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. The cat is alive, the cat is dead. This form/empty space is the pause between the old and the young woman, the turning point. All right, let's get back to marriage. Let's get back to relationship. Relationship without the space that Tolle is talking about is catch-22. Now, relationship is catch-22 is easily experienced because it's happening every day. Every time you have a little snit with your partner, a little argument, a little snit, a little bump, a little bimp, a little rub, you can notice how it goes wah, 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 like that. Each one says, I'm right. Each one says, you're hurting me. So I'm hurt. No, I'm hurt. No, I'm hurt. No. Catch-22. I'm hurt. No, you're hurting me. No, you're hurting me. I'm the victim. No, I'm the victim. Catch-22. Each is the opposite. And you've lost the one. And there must be one. That is the categorical imperative of life. Let there be one. Even old Yahweh said that. Let no other gods be before me. Let there be one. Unity. The one that transcends the two. So you can never perceive or catch the one. You can't catch 22. Because if you catch it, you've killed it. If you catch space, you've made it into form. If you catch awareness, you've made it into the known, into something, into an it. And now when you have an it, you're not it. You're outside of it. Now there's two. Catch-22. So this, the turning point then, one Eckhart Tolle pointed this out, in mythology, and if you ever go to the desert, and Native Americans know this, and we can all experience this, there is a certain time of the year, a certain point, when the sun is rising, or the sun is set, the sun is on the horizon as a big globe, and the moon is on the other side equal, and there's a moment when you can't tell which is which. There's the one that is two. That moment of ambiguity. Not know. So that in that pause between one or the other, I don't know, that is the space. That is the portal of not knowing. It is through that portal, through that pause. For instance, in a relationship, when you're in an argument, when you're in a catch-22, wow, 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 wow. If you pause, if you say, I don't know who's right. I do not know who's right. I don't know who's the victim here. I don't know who's the aggressor. I don't know what's true, but I want to know. What is the truth here? I hold. I pause. between the oscillation between I did it, you did it, I'm hurt, you're hurt, wah, 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 wah. You pause between the two, and you hold it. You sit in it. It's just this. It doesn't mean anything. It's just this. You pause. You're curious. You look. You don't move. The mind doesn't move. See, when the catch-22, the mind is moving. Yada, yada, yeah. You pause. You hold. That's the stillness. That's the stillness, the portal through which knowing or a creative insight or what we call love or space or awareness can awaken. And then everything shifts. The catch-22 falls like icicles off a spring porch. And suddenly everything is one. Suddenly there is no conflict. Suddenly there is no catch-22. Suddenly you are one with your partner. And you know what to do. You laugh. You hug. You do something. But the catch-22 becomes, you look back and say, that was absurd. Catch-22 is absurd. So the life of catch-22, of the pairs of opposites going like tomcats trying to restore the one, is absurd. And when you see the absurd, you just laugh. This morning, let me close with this. This morning, Morning Joe was reporting on Trump's speech at the wall, where he was praising the wall and the fact that nobody could climb the wall, and even mountain climbers are trying to climb the wall, and the mountain climbers can't climb the wall, and the wall is made of steel, it's so hot you could fry an egg on it, and this is the Cadillac, the Rolls Royce, this is a wall, and he goes on, and it was absurd. It was funny. It's a comic routine. It was absurd, and yet it was serious. Catch-22. If you watch the movie, the whole movie is Trump praising the wall in an absurd reality. So, Catch-22 is absurd, but we're caught in it when we think it's serious. Catch-22 is a joke, but if we're caught in it because we think it's going somewhere, you think that it's going to get us out of a hole, it's going to get us out of pain, it's going to get us out of suffering, it's going to bring justice, you see. It'll restore justice. It's absurd. And you laugh. And you're free. And you dance. Have a Zen Fit today. Thanks for dropping in.